In Buffalo, New York, our four urban explorers have made their way into the city's abandoned central train terminal, a ruin holding the secrets of downtown Buffalo's boom years. Bryce and Brittany seek a stuffed bison that was once a good luck charm for combat-bound troops. Deep beneath the station, Steve and Timmy search the terminal's forgotten baggage ramps for artifacts, including stolen cars rumored hidden down here.
I really like being in underground spaces. They're otherworldly and they're fairly inaccessible.
When some of the water was recently pumped out of these tunnels, the police thought for sure they'd find some dead bodies. They didn't, which doesn't mean there aren't any down there.
I think I know what this is, dude. This is a subterranean chop shop. This is where they bring the cars to unload them.
They found it. This auto, stripped of its wheels and engine, is proof that these tunnels have found criminal purpose in the modern age. No big surprise, really. It turns out that the rate of car thefts in Buffalo is about twice the national average.
This is better than what I drive.
Hey,
Is that a Pinto?
this guy was a bowler.
What, is there a bowling ball in it?
Everything's gone except the bowling ball in the backseat.
Nice bowling ball, dude.
It's pretty good condition.
Up top, Bryce and Brittany are getting a feel for just how magnificent the central terminal was as they search for the elusive Buffalo bison.
Pretty good condition.
So wait a sec. So what's up with
Okay,
this
wait.
bison?
We gotta find
you
the
know
bison.
Why are we looking for a bison?
A story was that soldiers going off to war from World War II on would take a piece of its
Like
coat.
any war from World War II?
Yeah, would take a piece of its coat, a piece of its fur for good luck. So it's got
So
a
it's
little.
bald. We're looking for a bald bison.
Let's see. Let's think about this. Where would it be?
Hey, check this out. This is pretty Art Deco right here. All the patterns along the side and everything.
Train travel is my favorite way to travel, and I really liked going in there and imagining and fantasizing how people back in that time got to travel. It wasn't about getting from point A to B in the fastest, cheapest way. They did it, like I said, with style.
There's no denying it. Passengers leaving from the central terminal definitely started their trip off in style. The lavish concourse opened up to a bustling coffee shop, where a nickel would get you the best cup of coffee around. Across the concourse, the women's restroom was famous for its opulence. And in the passenger waiting room, the ceiling was painted to look like the sky, clouds and all.
Okay, right when you got off the street, into the first place you'd be, into the terminal would be right here. There's the street and the buses.
These places are empty. I don't know if a bison would be in here.
It'd be nice to have a party in here.
Bison!
There's a lawnmower in there.
Did you find anything?
No, I found a John Deere lawnmower.
Uh-oh. Someone's preventing us from going in, Brett.
Oh,
Fuck! What are you doing? The hell was that?
Well, he's not bald. Oh, yeah.
Brittany's come eye to eye with a historic treasure. The original stuffed buffalo bison that was once a good luck charm for combat-bound troops.
Is that creepy?
Man!
Even though the large and shaggy beast never even roamed here, a stuffed bison is a pretty obvious mascot choice for a town called Buffalo. In fact, Buffalo actually gets its name from its waterways. When French-Canadian explorers came upon the Niagara River 400 years ago, they called it simply Beau Fleuve, which in English is beautiful river.
Now that they've accomplished their mission, Bryce and Brittany set off to summit the station's famous vaulted ceiling.
It is.
Wow. Oh, look at this.
Meanwhile, 100 yards away and some 40 feet below, Steve and Timmy are still mucking their way through the train terminal tunnels in hopes of finding their way up top.
So Brittany and Bryce, they're loving it. They're up there and kind of in the air and in the dry, kind of warm. And Steve and I are subterranean here. We're kind of like these underground dwellers. A lot of cool junk. It doesn't make me feel good.
Well, you know, I'm sure then this place was a commissary. They were making all the meals for the big the luxurious passenger trains.
Oh, really? So this is where the people that would come in on the luxury trains would come and sit here in this room?
No, 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 no.
Oh.
They'd make the stuff here and take it out to the trains.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. This is where they weighed the meat.
Buffalo Scale Company, Buffalo, New York.
Kitchen staff prepared the food here for luxury trains and loaded it up on those electric carts that shuttled it right off to the dining cars. The most famous of these luxury rides to stop in Buffalo was the 20th Century Limited. First-class tickets for the 16-hour overnight ride from Chicago to New York City was a pricey $25. The railroad would roll out a crimson carpet to welcome passengers to the train, which gave us the phrase, the red carpet treatment. Up next on Urban Explorers, Bryce and Brittany ascend to a spectacular vantage point and descend in the grandest entrance of the expedition. In Buffalo's abandoned Central Train Terminal, our team of urban explorers are uncovering artifacts from a time when trains were the only way to travel. Up in the terminal office tower, Bryce and Brittany are finding out about the many people who lost their livelihoods when this place finally shut down.
Oh, look at this. Hundreds of people used to work here every day in the office tower of the Central Terminal. It was like a miniature city. It included a radio dispatcher, an express shipping agency, and the Pullman Porters. The Pullman Porters were a group of African-American men that used to work aboard the Pullman trains. Their service was world-renowned. They were also the first African-American union to sign a collective bargaining agreement with a major U.S. corporation.
We gotta go one more floor.
So I was
When we first came in, the ceiling was magnificent, and to be inside there was even more interesting, actually, for me.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get in?
Oh, my God. Look at that.
I kind of went up the dome until I reached a flat catwalk.
Perfect for you, Brett.
I know.
See the big trusses here?
And just feeling kind of exposed, even though I was in this tight enclosure, because I just was imagining like the whole thing could just drop at any second. Oh, check it out! Here's this big hole.
It's these places right here that I really love finding when we're exploring. It's because it's the behind-the-scenes kind of aspect where you see the structure and how the architecture is held up. Look at this piece of steel right here. So we're around 60 feet above the floor of the passenger concourse. It's a really good view here, and you can also get a good look at the Gustavino tiles. You can just imagine the workers hanging off this steel and placing these tiles one by one with their hands. It took about 8 months to place the whole ceiling of the concourse. Not only do they look good, but they're fireproof, and they also help dampen the sound from the trains. So they're using a lot of train stations of this era.
Meanwhile, Steve and Timmy are finally coming up from their subterranean depths.
Daylight!
Nice. This must be the main hall, the main concourse.
Absolutely the main hall.
Oh my God.
Look at the size of this place, man. It's huge.
Nice, right?
How many people?
It
What'd you
made
say?
it for 3,200 an hour.
3,200 an hour?
Never came to that, never came close.
From the start, bad timing plagued the Central Terminal. Less than 4 months after it opened, the stock market crashed on Black Tuesday, October 29th, 1929. With that, train travel plummeted, and so began the Central Terminal's lifelong struggle to stay alive. In the 1940s, the transportation of GIs in World War II brought a short-lived resurgence in train travel. But in the 1950s, trains lost out once again to improvements in the highway system and air travel. In 1970, only 2 trains a day ran out of the Central Terminal. By the end of the decade, the Central Terminal shut down operations for good.
The death of Central Terminal was really tied to the decline of Buffalo as a city. Between the loss of the steel and the grain industries, white flight, and just bad city planning, Buffalo really had its share of ongoing problems. It used to be the 8th largest city in the U.S. Today, it doesn't even make the top 50.
What do you think this was? This was maybe a clock or something like that, huh? Just something in the center of the building.
Oh, I think I hear those guys down there, and we're supposed to meet up with them pretty soon.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Are you ready for a little adventure?
What do you got in mind?
I got a good idea.
Reminds me of Grand Central and like.
Where do you think, Britt?